January 29, 2017 special meeting to order. The first item is that we need to approve our agenda.
I move that we approve agenda.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and this evening, our item of business is approval of superintendent selection and hiring, and we will be giving Dr. Lewis an opportunity to say a few words here in a moment. Board, any discussion before we have a motion? No? All right. Okay, we do have one item of public comment related to this business item. I invite Steve Cadieux to the microphone, please. And our public participation guidelines, keep it to 5 minutes or less if possible, please. Thank you.
This mic?
Yes.
Well, I didn't know the order of developments this evening. I put on my interest was just for the welcome of Dr. Anthony Lewis.
Okay. Would you like to speak after we finish approving our motion?
Hope I'm not jumping the gun on that.
No, it's okay.
That's okay?
Yes, it's fine.
Well, that was what my purpose was, to speak, to welcome Dr. Anthony Lewis and his family and to the city of Lawrence, the Lawrence School Board District. And I always like to say to the home of Haskell Indian Nations University and the University of Kansas. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cadieux. Appreciate that. And before we make our motion, I also would like to welcome Dr. Lewis and his wife, Tiffany. They're here with us this evening, and just to share how very excited we are to have you joining our family in Lawrence Public Schools. So thank you very much. Now, ready for a motion?
I move the Board of Education to employ Dr. Anthony Lewis as superintendent of the schools effective July 1, 2008 for the period of 3 years ending June 30th, 2021, unless otherwise extended by the board.
A second.
All right, 2018, right?
Is that what I said?
You said 2008. I know you meant 2018.
We're going back in time.
Don't worry.
All right, and we have a motion and a second, and Don, you can call the roll.
Johnson,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Kimball,
Yes.
Eason,
Yes.
Fincher,
Yes.
Gordon Ross,
Yes.
Ingram.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Dr. Lewis, if you would like to come up to the microphone.
Good. First of all, good evening to everyone here. So I told the crowd at the meet and greet on last week that I don't like talking about myself. So if you were not there, there's plenty of articles that tell you all about my background. But you probably know it since I've been here back in 2008. You probably know some of the work. So we're going to come back and finish that work, I guess. No, but I am humbled. I'm excited at the same time about continuing the work and leverage the work that's already been done here in Lawrence. Oh my God, a great city, from what I've learned and the people that I've met so far, and just riding around to see some of the great things that's happening here in Lawrence. And then, of course, I'm constantly researching. I asked a lot of questions, and I saw Brandon Daly's classroom today on Twitter, and I was like, then you could see some of the expressions on some of the students' faces, and I said, that's why Lawrence is what it is. It's because we have teachers like Brandon Daly that makes learning fun, where students want to come to school and they're excited to come to school. So I can't wait to get into his classroom as well as other teachers' classrooms. But again, thank you to the board for entrusting the superintendency in my hand. And I just say my hand, but it'll be in all of our hands as well, because I do believe that in order for us to continue to improve student outcomes, every single student in this district is going to take a collaborative effort. Will I make mistakes? Yes. But please know that those mistakes will be in the best interest of students. I was doing something that I thought would benefit students. And I did also tell the crowd on last week that someone asked, well, why come to Lawrence? And I told them, I said, when I look at some of the exciting things that's going on in Lawrence and how Lawrence is outperforming the state in many areas, and then I look and see, well, still there's a lot of work that can be done, and I know that it can be done, and we'll definitely move forward together. And I'll say this and I'll sit down. I started talking to people because I like to get out and ask questions and talk to people. I started this my first day coming here for an interview. The interview, I think, was at 6:30, and I got here about 3 o'clock, just riding around, and I said, I want to talk to some parents. And that day, school was out, so I couldn't trespass on a campus to try to stalk some students and talk to them. So I looked in my rearview mirror, and there was this mother with her son in the front. And so I wonder where she's going. And so I saw her. She turned over into a parking lot of a restaurant here. I turned around. I went and talked to her. I said, hey, I'm thinking about moving here. I said, what do you think about the schools here? And the little boy, he was just shaking his head. He said, no. He said, no. And Mom was like, there's a lot of bullying going on. There's a lot of issues in the schools. But, the city is a great place to live. But if we can just do more for our students. And so I continued to drive down, I think it was 6th Street maybe. And I got to another school, and I asked the parent, the kids were out snowboarding, and I asked the parent, I said, do you like this school? That your kids go to this school? And she said, yes, they do. I said, do you like the school? She said, oh my God, I love it. I wouldn't change anything. And so those two separate, instances there and two separate circumstances, how can we improve the outcomes for this particular student that was shaking his head? And then the outcome of the students where Mom said she loves it. How can we even go higher and reach farther for all those kids? So that's what I'm excited about. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. And I think I'll stick around. I would love to meet each and every one of you if you have time. So again, thank you guys so much for the opportunity. I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank
My wife. About an hour drive home. Just allow me an opportunity to correct this. Will my beautiful wife please stand my side since I've started this educational journey. So Tiffany, thank you so much. She allows me to do what I do. Sometimes it's some late hours, but she knows the passion that I have for what I do. So thank you so much. So hopefully this ride will be pleasant now.
Dr. Lewis, and thank you for being here this evening. Everyone who came, we really appreciate it. So, all right.
It's nice to meet you, Kelly.
Melissa, nice to meet you.
Joining us.
Better?
Yes, I am. I still sound kind of. Yes.
Okay, before we conclude, we had a second public comment turned in, so I could invite Leo, and I'm sorry, Barbie. Oh, thank you. To the microphone. Thank you.
Board and to the new superintendent and his wife. I just want to say some things. I plan on speaking last semester, but I planned because of the snow and everything, I want to come today. And what I have to say, I think, is very controversial. But first, I want to welcome Dr. and Mrs. Lewis here to University, to USD 497. You are a good friend of my niece, Dr. Judith Jordan. I'm her uncle, and so we welcome you to this community and everything, and you are in our prayers and everything. But what I want to say this evening, first, most of you know me. I've been a pastor in this community going on 42 years, so I'm no stranger to the community. And I want to say I've had 6 kids to graduate from this school district. My daughter was the first black homecoming queen in the history of this school. So we do have some credibility concerning our school. I've had a lot of grandchildren to graduate. I have about 5 grandchildren in the school system right now. But I also want to issue a disclaimer to say something to you, and that is, I am not homophobic. I don't agree with bullying. I think it's wrong. I, as a pastor, as a father, grandfather, husband, I will stand up for anyone, no matter who he is or who she is. However, I do want to say this to the school board. I want to say this to the administration. I want to say this to the teachers. I want to say this to the students. What I am not in agreement with, and I believe it's a simple solution as a pastor, as a minister, but I'm not in agreement with the possible, and I can be corrected later on, the possible bathrooms or situations that are being made for the LBG community. Now, I say this because I think it's simple, and I'll sit down. I believe it can be dealt with rightfully, treating all students with decency and respect. We say, in essence, girls go to girls' bathroom, your biological birth. Boys go to boys' bathroom, your biological birth. I'm aware of all of the issues. I'm aware of all the controversy. I'm aware of all this community and its consensus to a lot of things. But I think we can satisfy and correct the problem if we treat people, all people, with decency and respect. And I know what I'm saying. I thank you very much for listening to me. I'm going to support the superintendent. I'm going to continue to support this community. I'm going to still try to stand up for what is right and what I believe, even though a lot of times what I say is not very popular. I'm not trying to win a popularity contest. I just want to be a servant of the Lord, speak the truth in love and compassion, and thank you for listening to me.
Thank you, Reverend Barbie. Okay, with that, need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.